The battlefield of Cryo's IV still smoldered. Once a thriving outpost, the colony world had become nothing more than ash and ruin after weeks of brutal fighting between the human coalition and the Draven Empire. Both sides had taken catastrophic losses. The air stank of charred metal and blood. In the silence that followed the last barrage, moans of the dying echoed through shattered streets. Among the wreckage lay Commander Valera, a Draven warrior feared across the stars. Her kind were known for their towering forms, plated exoskeletons, and unmatched strength. She had led her legion with honor until the blast struck, an orbital strike that collapsed half a city block. Her armor was split open, her once proud frame pinned beneath stone. Worse, both her legs were gone, sheared away by the blast. The cauterized stumps bled sluggishly, her life force draining into the soil. Around her, other Draven survivors staggered past. Some saw her and turned away. To them, a warrior who could no longer stand was no warrior at all. They left her there, condemned to die alone. But someone else heard her ragged breaths. A human marine, Sergeant Marcus Hale, limped through the rubble, his rifle broken, his armor scorched. He, too, should have abandoned her. Enemy, monster, symbol of the war that had stolen his comrades. And yet he couldn't. The beginning, an unlikely encounter. Marcus crouched beside her, wary. Her mandibles clicked weakly, her dark, luminous eyes burning with both rage and despair. "Why are you still alive?" he muttered, half to himself. Valera rasped back, her voice harsh but clear. "Because I refuse to die lying down." Something in her defiance struck him. She was enemy, yes, but also soldier. And soldiers understood one another beyond species and banners. He checked her wounds. "Your legs." "Gone," she hissed, the word tasting like ash. Marcus glanced around. His unit was gone, scattered, killed, or evacuated. He was stranded behind enemy lines, just as she was. He should have ended her suffering right then. A clean shot, one less Draven to face later. Instead, he tore fabric from his uniform, binding her wounds. Her multifaceted gaze studied him. "Why? Save me." "Because no one deserves to die alone in the dirt," he said simply. The middle, the long crawl. For days, Marcus and Valera moved through the ruins together. She couldn't walk, so he fashioned a crude sled from wreckage, dragging her with him. Each step shredded his muscles, but he kept going. At first, she spat venomous words at him. "You are a fool, human. My people will kill you if they find us." "Yeah, well," Marcus grunted, hauling her over rubble. "Your people don't scare me half as much as losing myself." Gradually, her fury cooled into silence, then into questions. She asked why he fought, why humans bled for distant colonies. He told her of Earth, of oceans and mountains she had never seen. He spoke of his sister, waiting for him back home, and how he swore he'd survive for her sake. In turn, Valera spoke of Draven culture, how warriors were only valued for strength, how weakness meant abandonment. She admitted she had once believed humans were soft, fragile things. But Marcus, dragging her broken body across a war zone without complaint, shattered that belief. Nights were the hardest. They huddled in bombed-out shelters, taking turns keeping watch. Sometimes, when the cold seeped in, Marcus draped his jacket over her. She scoffed, but never pushed it away. Trust forged in fire. One night, scavengers descended on their camp, deserters from both armies, armed and desperate. Marcus fired until his rifle clicked empty. Then the raiders lunged, and Valera, legless though she was, fought like a demon. With claws and sheer will, she tore down 2 of them before Marcus finished the rest with a blade. Afterward, blooded and exhausted, they leaned against each other. "You fight like one of us," Valera admitted grudgingly. "And you bleed like one of us," Marcus replied, half smiling. Something shifted between them. No longer enemies, no longer strangers, survivors bound by fire. The revelation. After weeks of struggle, Marcus intercepted a faint coalition distress signal. Rescue was possible, but they had to reach the extraction point across the wastes. Marcus's strength was nearly gone. He had lost weight, his wounds infected. Valera saw it, and guilt gnawed at her. "You should leave me," she told him one dawn, her voice low. "Alone, you might make it. With me, you will not." Marcus met her gaze firmly. "Not happening. I didn't carry you this far just to throw you away. I don't abandon my own." Her chest tightened. For the first time in her life, someone saw worth in her beyond battle glory. A human, of all creatures, valued her simply for existing. The climax, the final push. As they neared the extraction site, Draven patrols closed in. The signal had drawn them too. A skirmish broke out among the ruins of an old power plant. Marcus fought with the desperation of a cornered wolf, cutting down foes far larger than himself. But sheer numbers overwhelmed him. A Draven warrior struck him down, blade poised for the kill. Valera, dragging herself across the ground with clawed hands, hurled herself onto the attacker. Though half-crippled, she sank her fangs into his throat, ripping him apart. She collapsed beside Marcus, blooded and gasping. "I told you. I refused to die lying down." Coalition dropships thundered overhead. Rescue had arrived. Soldiers hauled Marcus aboard, and though they hesitated at the sight of Valera, Marcus roared, "She comes with me." Against orders, against reason, he lifted her himself, carrying her onto the ship. The ending, a new future. Weeks later, Marcus awoke in a med bay. His wounds were mended, though scars remained. At his side, in a reinforced stasis chamber, lay Valera. Coalition medics had stabilized her. Prosthetics would give her new legs. Many wanted her executed or imprisoned. She was the enemy, after all. But Marcus testified for her, swearing she had saved his life, that she deserved more than death. Reluctantly, the coalition agreed to keep her alive, though under watch. In the days that followed, Marcus visited her often. She struggled to adapt, pride warring with gratitude. Yet each time, when he entered, her mandibles twitched in something like a smile. "You are still a fool," she told him once. "Yeah," he said, pulling up a chair. "But I'm your fool now, aren't I?" For the first time, she laughed, a deep, raw sound that filled the sterile room. And in that moment, both human marine and alien warrior knew their war had ended the day they chose not to abandon each other.